Welcome back to our channel, Movie Enthusiasts. Today, we're diving deep into the chilling recap of The Last Voyage of the Demeter. Get ready to witness a tale of horror, where suspense meets desperation, and the line between life and death blurs. Brace yourselves as we recap the spine-tingling journey of the ill-fated crew, and their encounter with the infamous Count Dracula. Before we set sail, make sure to subscribe and leave a like to our channel. Let's begin. In 1897, a cargo vessel embarked on a journey from Romania destined for England. However, its fate took a haunting turn when it washed ashore, a forsaken vessel devoid of any surviving souls. The eerie discovery was made by a vigilant lighthouse crew, who ventured out to inspect the wreckage. Among the remnants, they stumbled upon a captain's log, meticulously chronicling the harrowing tale of events that ultimately led to the crew's tragic demise. 4 weeks prior, Captain Elliot and his first mate Wojciech were actively seeking crew members to embark on the Demeter's journey to England. Their efforts led them to encounter a doctor by the name of Clemens, who had received his education at Cambridge. Despite Wojciech's initial rejection in favor of 3 alternative candidates, Clemens remained undeterred, persistently following the crew's path. As the men worked diligently to load their cargo onto the ship, a sense of unease permeates the air. Suddenly, one of the men becomes visibly startled as his eyes lock onto a wooden crate adorned with the ominous symbol of a dragon. Fear courses through him, causing his grip on the crate to falter. With a heart-pounding moment of suspense, the crate teeters dangerously, its impending descent threatening to crush young Toby, the grandson of Elliot. In the nick of time, Clemens intervenes heroically, whisking Toby out of harm's way, averting a potential catastrophe. The perturbed man, gripped by superstition and dread, hastens to depart, convinced that the dragon symbol forebodes ill fortune. Grateful for Clemens' swift action, Elliot expresses his heartfelt thanks as he prepares to join his fellow crewmates, Abrams, Algarin, Petrovsky, Larson, and Joseph, in boarding the ship. Toby generously offers Clemens a comprehensive tour of the boat, proudly showcasing the ship's livestock and introducing him to his faithful companion, Huckleberry, the dog. Later, as night falls, an unexpected event unfolds as the mysterious crate adorned with a dragon emblem suddenly opens by itself, hinting that an enigmatic entity appears to emerge from within. Clemens joins the crew for a hearty meal, expressing his profound curiosity about unraveling the intricate workings of the world. Simultaneously, they hear a noise coming from the mysterious cargoes. Clemens delves deeper into the ship's cargo. He stumbles upon an unexpected discovery, a woman, barely clinging to life, concealed within one of the crates. Clemens quickly takes charge, administering blood transfusions to stabilize her fragile condition. One night, Clemens and Algarin shifts duty. Using a spyglass, Algarin takes a look on their destination. To his surprise, he saw a grotesque entity in front of him but quickly disappear as he put away the spyglass. Subsequently, Joseph stumbles upon a gruesome scene. Huckleberry and the livestock have been brutally killed. The crew gathered to discuss the horrifying events. Elliot, concerned for the crew's safety, proposes making a detour to the next port. However, the crew vehemently opposes this course of action, fearing that doing so would forfeit the promised bonus payment they've been eagerly anticipating. Petrovsky reacts insensitively to both Clemens and the woman, making derogatory comments. When Clemens attempts to stand up for the woman, Larson intervenes, brandishing a knife in a threatening manner. The next morning, the men decide to dispose of the dead animals by tossing them overboard with heavy hearts. Toby is overwhelmed with grief not only for Huck's loss but also because he was entrusted by Elliot to care for the animals. In this moment of despair, Clemens offers Toby much-needed comfort and support. In the midst of this tension and mystery, Toby approaches Clemens with a glimmer of hope. He reveals that the woman, whom they've learned is named Anna, has started to regain consciousness and speak, albeit faintly, marking a potential turning point in their enigmatic journey. During the nighttime hours, Petrovsky stands vigilant on the ship's deck, keeping watch while the remainder of the crew rests in slumber. A mysterious and unsettling knocking sound captures his attention, prompting him to venture forth to explore its source. As Petrovsky investigates further, a horrifying sight comes into view, a ghastly, emaciated figure slowly inching its way across the deck. In a sudden and terrifying turn of events, this grotesque entity abruptly launches itself towards Petrovsky, viciously extending its razor-sharp claws and, without hesitation, slashes his throat with a horrifying swiftness. Following this gruesome act, the creature proceeds to drain Petrovsky's life essence, greedily siphoning his blood in the stillness of the night. The crew's unease mounts as they come across Petrovsky's blood smeared across the deck. Initially, Wojciech points a finger at Clemens, despite the fact that Clemens had been the one to report Petrovsky's death. As night falls, Olgarin and Larson take their turn keeping watch on deck, and it's during this watch that the same malevolent entity strikes. It viciously attacks Larson, dragging his face across the deck before ultimately consuming him. In a desperate bid to escape the creature's clutches, Olgarin scales to a high vantage point, only for the relentless entity to pursue and sink its teeth into Olgarin's head, leaving him alive but grievously wounded. Olgarin was initially restrained on a bed, requiring medical attention. However, as night descended, he inexplicably broke free from his restraints, his demeanor transformed into that of a bloodthirsty automaton. He set his sights on Toby, driven by an insatiable urge. In response, Toby sought refuge within the captain's quarters, hastily securing himself inside. The rest of the crew soon sensed that something had gone terribly awry and hurried below deck to investigate. They managed to subdue Olgarin, but their immediate concern was getting through the locked door to reach Toby. Unfortunately, the creature relentlessly pursued Toby, its ominous presence drawing closer with each passing moment. In this dire moment, Anna arrived on the scene, her instincts demanding immediate action. She seized a rifle and aimed at the door's lock, preparing to blast it open. But, before she could do so, the creature closed in on Toby, launching a vicious attack that drained him of most of his blood. As Toby is placed under the care of the captain, Olgarin finds himself tethered to the ship's mast. Inexplicably, he insists he can discern every nuance of the wind's whisper, the ocean's relentless surge, and the rhythmic pulsing of blood coursing through everyone's veins. As the sun's first rays pierce the horizon, Olgarin grimaces, complaining of an excruciating burning sensation searing through him. Sunlight kisses his skin, and in an agonizing crescendo, he erupts into flames before Wojcik swiftly dispatches him with a gunshot to the head. In the dead of night, Abrams assumes the solitary duty of keeping a vigilant watch on the ship's deck. In a stealthy move, Joseph unexpectedly incapacitates Abrams, seizing the opportunity to escape the vessel by commandeering a lifeboat. Desperate to elude the menacing creatures stalking the ship, Joseph launches the lifeboat into the darkness, hoping for a safe getaway. However, the creature's terrifying ability, it can soar through the night sky. With a chilling precision, it tracks down Joseph, in a fatal encounter, ends his escape attempt, leaving the lifeboat to return to the Demeter devoid of human presence, but marked by gruesome evidence of the tragic confrontation. Amidst the chaos, Anna confides in Clemens, unraveling the dark mystery that has befallen them. She recounts her proximity to a sinister castle in her village, where the malevolent creature known as Dracula resided. This fiend had bitten Anna, intending to harness her as a source of sustenance, but the transfusions administered by Clemens spared her from the grisly fate suffered by Olgarin. Filled with dread that Toby might meet a similar tragic end, the crew enshrouds him within a sheet, readying themselves to consign his lifeless form to the depths of the ocean. Anna, in a solemn moment, utters a heartfelt prayer for Toby's departed soul. Amidst his overpowering grief, Elliot's mind succumbs to delusions, envisioning Toby exhibiting signs of life. In a frantic attempt to verify his perception, Elliot unwraps the sheet, only to discover a startling transformation in Toby, a grotesque vampiric metamorphosis. The sunlight proves equally ruthless, scorching Toby's newly acquired form and inflicting burns upon Elliot's own flesh as he inadvertently touches the young boy. With heavy hearts, they release Toby into the unforgiving ocean's embrace, sealing his tragic fate. Desolation blankets Elliot as he grapples with the haunting memory of that fateful day. As the Demeter draws nearer to the shores of England, apprehension gnaws at the crew's collective psyche, their minds burdened by the unsettling prospect of transporting Dracula. Amongst them, Elliot's descent into delusion deepens, as he entertains fanciful notions of harnessing Dracula's powers to resurrect Toby. Yet, it is Anna who acts as the voice of reason, successfully dissuading him from this perilous path. With uncertainty looming large, the crew ultimately reaches a unanimous decision. They will confront Dracula head-on, even if it means sacrificing the very vessel that Wojcik considers his sanctuary. Despite Wojcik's reluctance, the crew remains resolute in their resolve to make a final stand against Dracula, even if it means bringing the ship down with him. As night descended upon them, the crew braced themselves for the imminent arrival of Dracula. The ominous vampire creature made a sudden, lethal appearance, claiming its first victim in the form of Abrams. Wojcik's unfortunate luck took a turn for the worse as he plummeted through the deck, fracturing his leg. He tries to sink the ship using an axe. Unknowingly, Dracula pursued him, wasting no time and dispatched him mercilessly. Meanwhile, Elliot made a grim decision to go down with the ship, prepared to face his fate. The grotesque creature turns his attention to Elliot, who's holding a rosary, hoping it will somehow affect Dracula. Unfortunately, Dracula was unmoved, devouring the helpless captain. In a desperate bid to thwart Dracula's malevolent advance, Clemens valiantly attempted to engage the vampire. However, the villainous creature seized Clemens by the throat, exuding an air of fearless determination. In a chilling twist, the vampire spoke for the first time, uttering the ominous words, "You will." Anna, undaunted by the dire circumstances, seized a rifle and fired at Dracula, then swiftly maneuvered to cut down the ship's mast. Her calculated actions served to pin the relentless vampire down. With remarkable teamwork, Anna and Clemens managed to escape the ill-fated Demeter just as it crashed upon the shores of England. Dracula, temporarily vanquished, made a hasty retreat into the night as the lighthouse crew stumbled upon the wreckage. As morning broke, Clemens observed with growing concern that Anna was succumbing once more to her vampiric nature. He proposed the idea of another blood transfusion, hoping to stave off the inevitable. However, Anna, resigned to her fate, dismissed the suggestion, bidding him a heart-wrenching farewell. As the first rays of sunlight pierced the horizon, she willingly faced her fiery demise. Meanwhile, in London, the horrifying events didn't discourage Clemens to seek justice for his crewmates. Determined to confront the evil that had haunted them, he ventured into a local pub to gather information about the abbey where Dracula had once resided. In the midst of his inquiries, a familiar, eerie knocking sound echoed in the distance, chilling him to the bone. To his horror, the malevolent vampire had infiltrated London, assuming the guise of a man and still clutching the menacing wolf-headed cane that had marked his presence on the Demeter. Without hesitation, Clemens tracked Dracula's sinister trail outside and vowed that he would not rest until he banished this creature back to the depths of hell, once and for all. And that's the end of the story. I hope you liked it. Comment down below what movies do you like us to recap next. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time.